Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into something a little different today. It's all about the unexpected link between electricity and digital marketing.
Yeah, at first glance, it might seem like a bit of a strange combo, but trust me, there are some really interesting parallels, and that's what we're exploring today.
All right, I'm all ears.
So the inspiration for this deep dive is this article, really thought-provoking, by AI expert Mohan Leela Shankar. He calls it, get this, the digital marketing grid.
The digital marketing grid. Okay, I'm intrigued.
So Shankar's main argument is that much like electricity relies on a well-functioning grid to, power our homes and cities, digital marketing needs a similar structure to be successful.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see where this is going, but for those of us who haven't read the article yet, can you kind of break it down? Like, what are the key parts of this digital marketing grid?
Sure. So let's start with content. In this analogy, content is our power source. Think of it as the fuel that makes everything run. So instead of like coal or nuclear energy, we're talking about blog posts, videos, all that good stuff.
Exactly. You got it. High quality content is what generates the energy, the buzz that drives a successful digital marketing strategy.
Right. That makes sense. But how do we get that content to the right people? I mean, it's not much use if it's just sitting there, right?
That's where channels come into play. They're like our transmission lines. We have high voltage lines to transmit electricity over long distances, and then local grids to distribute it to individual homes. Well, digital marketing uses different channels for different purposes. Think social media, email, you name it.
So social media platforms would be like those high voltage lines broadcasting our message far and wide.
Exactly. Social media is your megaphone, amplifying your content to a massive audience. And then you have things like email marketing, more like those local grids, direct communication with your most engaged audience.
Okay, so different channels, different roles, got it. But how do we make sure our message doesn't, overload the system? How do we make sure it's delivered effectively?
Good question. And that's where analytics come in. They're like our voltage regulators. Just like those devices prevent overloads and blackouts on the power grid, data analytics help us control the flow of our marketing messages.
So it's all about having a dashboard, so to speak. We can see where our energy is going and make adjustments to optimize performance.
Exactly. We have these incredible tools like Google Analytics that give us tons of insights into how our content's doing, are we reaching the right people, all of that. And you know what? We're even seeing more advanced tools popping up now, powered by AI, that can take those analytics to a whole new level.
AI, huh? Always got to bring AI into the mix.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, AI seems to be everywhere these days. So tell me, how is it shaking things up in the digital marketing world?
Well, one way AI is making a huge impact is in boosting creativity. It's like AI is bringing this whole new spark to the game.
Okay, so less Thomas Edison, more like Tesla. Alternating current.
I like that analogy. Just like Tesla's inventions revolutionized how we use electricity, AI is transforming how we approach marketing.
Got it. So less about, dim light bulbs and more about those dazzling Times Square billboards.
You got it. And one of the key ways AI is boosting creativity is through tools like ChatGPT, for example. It can help us write personalized copy that really connects with our audience.
ChatGPT, yeah, I've heard of that one. Writes pretty much anything you ask it to.
Right. And then you have things like DALE, which can actually create visuals, images, based on text prompts. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Wow. So with AI, we're not just sending out messages anymore. We're creating entire experiences.
Exactly. And, something that's really important to remember here is the role of emotional connection, like really tapping into people's emotions. It's kind of like creating electromagnetic waves that draw people in.
Okay, so give me an example. Like, how do you use AI to really make that emotional connection?
Well, think of like a heartwarming ad that goes viral. It's not just about the product or service they're selling. It's about the story they tell, the emotions they evoke. AI can help us analyze which emotions resonate most with our target audience and then, craft content that really speaks to them on that level.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense now. We've got our grid set up, we're generating power, transmitting it effectively, regulating the flow. But even the best electrical systems have glitches, right? What about those unexpected challenges that pop up in digital marketing? The stuff that keeps you up at night.
Absolutely. We all have those moments, right? Even with the most carefully planned grid, you're bound to encounter a few short circuits along the way.
I'm thinking things like a social media post that completely backfires, or maybe a tech issue that messes up a whole campaign launch. How do we navigate those unpredictable situations?
It's all about being prepared. Just like an electrician relies on circuit breakers to prevent damage from power surges, digital marketers need to build safeguards to protect their efforts.
So it's like having a backup generator ready to kick in if the main power source goes out.
Exactly. Pre-planning is key here. You need to think about potential risks and have a plan in place for dealing with those short-circuit moments.
So it's like risk management 101 for the digital age. We're anticipating those challenges and having solutions ready to go. What are some things we can do to be more prepared?
Well, one key thing is diversifying your content and channels. Relying too heavily on one platform or type of content can leave you vulnerable. Like, what if that platform goes down or your audience suddenly loses interest in a particular format? You need other ways to engage them.
So kind of like having multiple power sources feeding into your grid. If one goes down, the others can keep things running.
Right. And then AI can be incredibly valuable in navigating those unexpected challenges. For example, AI-powered sentiment analysis tools can act as early warning systems. They can alert you to negative sentiment online before it blows up into a full-blown crisis.
Whoa. So it's like having a digital smoke detector that sniffs out trouble before it turns into a fire. That's impressive.
It is. AI can also help you adapt quickly when things change unexpectedly. Like, imagine a sudden shift in consumer behavior. AI can help you identify those changes in real time so you can adjust your strategy and stay ahead of the curve.
This is starting to sound like AI is the ultimate troubleshooter for digital marketers. Are we all going to be out of a job soon? Just kidding. But seriously, where does human expertise fit into all of this?
That's a great question. And the answer is human expertise is still essential. It's not about AI replacing humans, but about working together, using AI to enhance our abilities and help us make smarter decisions.
Okay, so finding that sweet spot between human ingenuity and AI's analytical power, it's a team effort.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our digital marketing grid, we've learned how to handle those short circuits, but how do we make sure our marketing efforts are, sustainable in the long run?
This is where the analogy to electricity becomes even more interesting. Just like we're moving towards renewable energy sources, we need to embrace sustainable practices in our digital marketing.
So we're not just looking for quick bursts of energy that fizzle out fast. We're looking for ways to create a more consistent, lasting impact.
You got it. Sustainable marketing is all about building trust, fostering genuine relationships with your audience, creating content that provides real, lasting value.
So it's like investing in solar panels, right? Maybe a bigger upfront investment, but in the long run, you're generating clean, sustainable energy.
Exactly. Sustainable marketing isn't just about being ethical. It's about creating a more resilient, effective marketing strategy.
I like that. Ethical and effective.
And this idea of sustainability feels especially relevant today. Consumers are becoming more discerning. They want to know where things come from, how they're made. They're looking for brands that share their values.
So it's not just about shouting the loudest anymore. It's about connecting with your audience on a deeper level, building trust, and demonstrating that you care about more than just making a quick buck.
Precisely. And that's where things like content repurposing come in. Just as we're learning to recycle and reuse materials in the physical world, we can do the same with our content.
Interesting. So instead of constantly churning out brand new content, we can find ways to repurpose what we already have.
You got it. Think about a blog post that performed really well. You could turn it into a video, an infographic, maybe even pull out some quotes to use on social media.
It's like we're getting more mileage out of our creative fuel.
Exactly. And it's not just about being efficient. It's also about reaching different segments of your audience who prefer different ways of consuming information. Some people love to read, others prefer video, and some are all about those visuals. Repurposing content lets you cater to all those different preferences.
That makes sense. We've covered a lot of ground here, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this whole electricity and digital marketing connection.
We have. There's so much more to unpack here, especially when we start talking about the role of AI. It's like AI is the dynamo that's powering the future of digital marketing.
Okay, AI dynamo. I like it.
Think about it. Predictive algorithms that can anticipate consumer behavior, automated campaigns that take care of all those repetitive tasks. It's revolutionizing the way we do marketing.
All right, I'm hooked. Tell me more about this AI dynamo and how it's changing the game.
Well, let's start with predictive algorithms. These things are incredible. They analyze tons of data and can actually anticipate what consumers are going to do next.
That sounds like something straight out of Minority Report. Can they really tell us what people want before they even know it themselves?
It's not quite mind reading, but they can get pretty close. Think about it. You could use this to personalize recommendations on your website, or maybe optimize your ad campaigns in real time, making sure your message reaches the right people at the right moment.
So it's like those smart grids that predict electricity demand based on the weather or historical usage data.
You got it. And that kind of personalization is incredibly powerful. It's what drives customer loyalty and helps businesses grow.
That's amazing. So we're moving from mass marketing to this hyper-personalized approach, all thanks to AI.
Exactly. But in all this excitement about data and algorithms, let's not forget that marketing is still about connecting with people.
That's a good point. It's easy to get lost in the numbers sometimes and forget that we're trying to reach real human beings with our messages.
Absolutely. That's where the art of storytelling comes in, and empathy, that emotional intelligence that humans bring to the table. AI can give us the data, but it's up to us to interpret that data and create compelling narratives that resonate with our audience.
So it's a partnership. AI gives us the insights, and humans bring the creativity and emotional intelligence to make those insights come alive.
Precisely. Finding that balance is key to success in the world of digital marketing.
Okay, I'm loving this conversation, but we're running a little short on time for this segment. Before we go, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, ethical marketing. It feels like this is becoming more and more important, both for consumers and businesses. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, absolutely. Ethical considerations are no longer optional. They're essential to any successful marketing strategy. Consumers are demanding it. They're more aware than ever before.
It's like there's been a real shift in expectations. People want transparency. They want authenticity. They want to know that the brands they support share their values.
You're exactly right. It's not just about following the rules anymore. It's about genuinely caring about the impact your marketing has on your audience and on the world.
So it's about moving away from that kind of pushy, salesy approach to marketing and towards something more genuine, more relationship-driven.
You got it. It's about creating a win-win situation for both the brand and the consumer. We need to move away from manipulative tactics and create marketing that feels good for everyone involved.
Give me some examples of what this ethical marketing looks like in action.
Sure. One great example is purpose-driven marketing. This is where brands align their marketing with a cause they believe in, something that benefits society or the environment. It's not just about doing good deeds on the side. It's about making those values part of the core of your brand.
It's like walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. And another big trend is data privacy. Brands are being more upfront about how they collect and use consumer data. They're giving consumers more control and making sure their privacy is respected.
This is so important these days, especially with all the concerns around data breaches and online security.
It is. And, it's not just about avoiding legal trouble. It's about building trust with your audience.
Yeah.
When people feel confident that their data is safe with you, they're more likely to engage with your brand and become loyal customers.
So ethical marketing isn't just the right thing to do, it's also good for business.
Absolutely. In the long run, ethical practices build brand loyalty, increase customer satisfaction, and ultimately drive business growth. Everyone wins.
This has been a really thought-provoking conversation. We've covered a lot of ground, the power of data, the rise of AI, the importance of ethical marketing. It feels like we're at a turning point in how we approach marketing in this digital age.
We are. It's an exciting time to be in this field. And as technology keeps advancing, we're going to see even more innovative ways to connect with our audience and create those meaningful experiences.
But as we embrace all these new possibilities, we need to make sure we're doing it responsibly and ethically. We can't lose sight of the human element.
Couldn't agree more. The future of marketing is bright, but it's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
I like that. A little food for thought.
So think about a marketing campaign that really stood out to you recently. What made it so effective? Was it the creative use of technology? Was it the way it made you feel? Or maybe it was the brand's commitment to ethical practices.
Take a moment to reflect on what truly resonates with you as a consumer in this crazy digital world. What makes a campaign memorable and impactful?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us on social media. Drop us an email. We're always eager to learn from you.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the world of digital marketing.
And remember, the power to create a better future for our businesses and for the world lies in our hands.
I love that. A powerful message to end on. Thanks for joining us for this electrifying deep dive.
Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about AI and its growing role in digital marketing. And, it really got me thinking about all that data involved. It's a lot to handle.
It is. Data's become essential to marketing these days. It's what fuels all those AI algorithms and gives us the insights to, make smart decisions.
Yeah, but I imagine it can be pretty overwhelming, right? Trying to make sense of all that information. Where do you even begin?
That's where AI-powered analytics come in. They help us sift through all that data and find those golden nuggets, those insights that would take, forever to uncover on our own.
So it's like having a team of virtual analysts working 24/7, crunching numbers, finding those patterns.
Exactly. And these AI tools can tell you, which channels are bringing you the most traffic, are people finding you through social media or organic search or email. AI can tell you what's working, what's not.
So it's about figuring out where your audience is hanging out,
right,
and then focusing your efforts there. Makes sense. What else can these AI tools tell us?
They can also tell you which content is performing the best, like which blog posts are getting the most reads, or what kinds of videos people are watching, things like that. So it's not just about creating content, it's about creating the right content, the stuff that really connects.
Right. And AI can also help you identify patterns in customer behavior. Like maybe people who buy a certain product are also interested in a particular service. That kind of insight helps you create really targeted marketing campaigns. So you're going beyond just basic demographics and really understanding what makes individual customers tick.
Yeah. And that level of personalization can be really powerful. It builds loyalty, helps businesses grow. It's a win-win. But, in all this talk about data and AI, it's important to remember that marketing is still, at its core, about human connection.
Oh, for sure. We can't forget that. It's easy to get caught up in the tech side of things and lose sight of the human element.
Right. We're trying to build relationships with real people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where does that human touch come in?
Well, that's where things like storytelling come into play. Empathy, emotional intelligence. AI can give us the data, but it's up to us as humans to interpret that data and create something compelling, something that resonates with our audience.
So it's a partnership, AI and human ingenuity working together.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. Ethical marketing. This seems to be a hot topic these days. Why do you think it's becoming so important?
Well, I think consumer expectations are changing. People want more transparency, more authenticity from brands.
Yeah. They're not just passively consuming ads anymore. They're more informed, more discerning.
Exactly. They want to know how their data is being used. They want to make sure the brands they support align with their values.
So ethical marketing isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's essential.
It is. It's about building trust, fostering long-term relationships. It's about being honest and transparent, creating content that provides genuine value.
Okay. So less about pushing products and more about building relationships. Got it.
Right. It's about creating a win-win where both the brand and the consumer benefit. No more shady tactics.
Love it. Can you give me some examples of brands doing this well? What does ethical marketing look like in practice?
Sure. One example is purpose-driven marketing. Brands aligning themselves with a social or environmental cause they believe in.
So more than just donating to charity, right? They're really integrating those values into the core of their brand.
Exactly. And another big one is data privacy. Brands are getting much better at being transparent about how they collect and use consumer data.
That's huge, especially with all the data breaches and privacy concerns these days.
It is. It's not just about following the rules. It's about earning the trust of your audience.
So ethical marketing is not just good for the soul, it's good for business too.
Absolutely. It builds brand loyalty, increases customer satisfaction, and ultimately, it's just good business.
This has been an amazing conversation, really eye-opening. It feels like we're on the verge of a major shift in how we approach marketing in the digital age.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's an exciting time to be a part of it. As technology continues to evolve, we're going to see even more innovative ways to connect with our audience and create these incredible experiences.
But as we embrace those new possibilities, we need to do it responsibly.
Absolutely. The future of digital marketing is bright, but it's up to us to make sure it's a future that benefits everyone.
I love that. Okay, before we move on, I want to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Ooh, I like that. A challenge.
Think about a recent marketing campaign that really impressed you. What made it so effective? Was it the technology, the message, or maybe the brand's commitment to ethical practices? What made it stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, what really resonated with you as a consumer?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us on social media or send us an email.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating.
Keep those creative sparks flying.
Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, thinking back to where we started, this whole electricity analogy has really been illuminating. It's amazing how much it applies to digital marketing.
Yeah, it's really powerful, isn't it? It helps us understand those sometimes complicated concepts in marketing by comparing them to something we all use, electricity.
Right. Like we talked about earlier, that whole digital marketing grid idea, it's all about having that solid infrastructure, that foundation for success. Exactly. Just like, a power grid needs strong power plants, efficient transmission lines, and reliable regulators to keep everything running smoothly. Well, in digital marketing, we need quality content, strategic channels, and data-driven analytics. It's the same principle.
And of course, we can't forget about AI. It's like the dynamo powering all this innovation in digital marketing.
Absolutely. AI is changing the game, how we create content, personalize messages, even predict consumer behavior. But, and I think this is really important, AI is a tool, not a replacement.
Right. We talked about that earlier. It's all about that collaboration, AI and human ingenuity working together.
Exactly. Finding that synergy, that's where the magic happens.
And something else that's been on my mind a lot during this deep dive is the whole ethical marketing thing. It feels like it's more important than ever these days.
Oh, absolutely. Consumers are demanding it. Transparency, authenticity. They want to know that the brands they're supporting are aligned with their values.
It's like that old saying, right? People vote with their wallets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, following the rules or avoiding bad press. It's about building trust, genuine relationships with your audience.
Right. And creating content that actually provides value, not just noise.
Absolutely. It's a win-win. When brands do the right thing, everyone benefits.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought, a little something to chew on.
I like it.
Think about your own digital marketing efforts. Are you harnessing the power of that digital marketing grid? Are you embracing AI in a way that feels authentic to your brand? And most importantly, are you building those genuine connections with your audience?
Those are the questions that really matter. At the end of the day, that's what makes a difference.
So to everyone listening out there, keep exploring, keep innovating, keep pushing the boundaries, but do it responsibly, ethically, and always with the human element in mind.
Well said.
It's been an amazing conversation. Thanks for joining us on this electrifying deep dive into the world of digital marketing. Until next time.